Okay, hi, welcome to Cherie's Weight Loss Journey. We are out in hopes of beating any bad weather that might come up, okay? Because it looks like it's good for a little while, and then the clouds roll in, and the next thing you know, we got storms. Hold on. Yeah, we got island weather, man, and we're not even on an island. Unless you want to say all of the earth is an island. You know, they said that a long time ago, it all used to be like one big island. All of the earth was like one big island. However, it expanded and it started breaking up into certain sections. Even though it wasn't really broken up into certain sections, it's like the water changed the composition of the earth that's on the land. Okay. But here's the thing that really, chaps my hide. It really chaps my hide that people have gotten to be so superstitious, okay? And the problem with being superstitious is that, in my opinion, you don't act appropriately, right? You don't do the practical thing. Instead, you act in fear. Is fear and superstition the same thing? I don't know, but I say they're definitely in the same family. Yes. Fear and superstition are definitely in the same family. Okay? So, we got so many people that are superstitious right now. They'll believe anything. And oh my gosh, many of them are being taken advantage of. Many. So many of them that you would think that the world has gone crazy. I do. I think the world has gone crazy. And yet, here's the weird part about it. Crazy people don't know they're crazy. How can they? How can a crazy person know that they're crazy? That doesn't make any sense. They're crazy. They don't know no better. Okay. So yeah, the clouds are starting to roll in again. And there was sunlight from the time I woke up. I woke up like a little bit before 10, about 9:30. And the skies was nice and clear and blue, and the sun was shining. And I'm like, wow, those people on their way to work, they get nice weather. Right? And since I'm not going to work, right? Not by my own choice, right? I love it when people tell people, "Oh, go get a job," and and people can't help but to look at them like, "No, I was fired. I can't go to work," right? And they're like, "Well, go get another one. Like, and it's like, you're just gonna go get another one. Our society is facing a recession, unemployment that they don't even want to talk about anymore because the numbers aren't going to make sense. They don't even want to talk about unemployment anymore because the numbers are not going to make sense. Because once you're off of unemployment benefits, the only reason why they even track unemployment is to see who has has to be allocated for unemployment benefits. No other reason. Do I need to say that one more time? The only time they track unemployment numbers is to figure out who needs to get paid unemployment benefits. Right? Now, we all heard about the closures. Didn't we? Yes, we all heard about the closures of Dollar Tree, Joann's, some other places that I can't remember right now. And we all know about that, right? Oh, UPS, laying off all of these people, right? And they keep laying off all of these people. And the government is like, go ahead, lay them off, restructure, do whatever you got to do. We have a whole, crew of graduates that need to be put back, that needs to be put into the workforce, right? And they're refusing to see that this system isn't working, right? It's not working. But they want to make it seem like you're the failure, not the system. Because the people that they got in position, they're not doing anything but upholding a system that doesn't work. And they keep upholding it, and that's it. Right? They're not making any changes. They're not doing anything different. The only difference is now they're using time. Right? Now we got people in office that said, well, if you did it once, then you can't say that it's not working. It's like, what? You mean to tell me I got out of college and I got one job at the very bottom of the pay scale because I'm inexperienced and straight out of college, and that job only lasted me 6 months to a year? I can't tell you that you're not correct in upholding this system? And they're like, absolutely, that's what we're saying. So now it's like, if you're going to put somebody on, I don't know how long these loans are. I suspect that some of these student loans are 4 and 6 years, maybe even 10 years, right? Some of these loans. Okay? So you're going to put somebody on a 4, 6, 10-year loan program, and you're telling them that the system works because they'll get out and they'll make more money, but they're only going to make more money for 6 months or a year, then have to go and try to find another job. Then they're going to, accumulate probably some problems, during the time that, they're looking for a job. It's crazy. And they want to say that the system works. Okay. Now listen. I ain't superstitious, right? You can't tell me that, you're riding around in your private jets, right? You're riding around in, doing first class and working during hours where other people aren't working, right? You got the morning shift, right? You working between 2 a.m. and 9 a.m. on some days, right? And then you want to tell people that you're working harder than other people. And that's not necessarily true. You're just up at a different hour. And why are you up at a different hour? Probably because you don't like to be seen, or you want to be seen as a free person during the day. You want to free up your daytime. You want to free up your daytime hours. Who knows what you do during the day? Surely it's not being with your family, unless your family is very young. Oh look, they had a crate. They had a big old dog crate. I wonder how much they wanted for that dog crate. Even though my dog has not experienced one day in a dog crate. She was more traumatized on that day getting her going to get a bath and her nails clipped, and that day, because after it was all finished, they put her in a crate. She never experienced no crate. But anyway, yeah. Come to think of it, that could be why she be traumatized when it comes to bath time. Like, oh, you gonna put me in jail? Ooh, the clouds are accumulating fast. They are accumulating fast. I'm trying to get to this other area where I know I can go and walk in the park. So, last night, by the time last night came, whatever system was in place, creating all of that hail and downpour, drenching, it had passed by the end of the night. However, does that mean that we should have had a great day today? Yes, it should have happened that way, right? Naturally, I would expect it to be a nice day, right? But when you have people that love to play God, and they're like, well, we're going to play with the systems. People still aren't going to believe that you're playing with the system is an act of God. They're not. They're just not. They're going to be like, no, we already know that you know how to, make clouds, seed the clouds, and then cause it to rain. We already know that. And it seems like you don't care. You don't care about the damage that you do. You just want people to operate in fear. They already know this. And they're like, well, it is what it is. That's how people are starting to feel. They're starting to feel like, well, it is, it's going to be what it's going to be, and fear ain't in me, okay? So, you can just get that out of your head, right? But what you're going to do is you're going to cause the people to have to build and keep rebuilding this damage that you're doing. Maybe that's what you're doing. Maybe this is your way of, what is that? Job security, right? If you go around here and you destroy property and roads and making sure that, job security will exist. Okay. Which to me, it's a terrible way of growth. It's not the best way to grow. Why do I say that? Because you're only making up for what was already there. It was there, you tear it down, now you have to rebuild it. Boom. And sure, you could say, well, you got a new structure that should last a little bit longer, but we all know that most of the materials that are used today aren't as solid as the materials that we used in yesteryear. So, you're lying. Okay, you're lying. Right? But, and a lot of people are talking about this. They're like, my God, how did this, brand new structure already start to have cracks or, or the newer cars, they're not lasting longer, as they're not lasting even 4 years. Okay, so then people are like, why are you charging the same amount or more for cheaper material apartment buildings? They look like they're stone, but they're actually stone tile. So they're probably no more than that thick, and they tile it up on the walls. Whereas in the past, they used to be real stone. So yeah, and honestly, some of the things that they reproduce, it looks authentic, even though it's manufactured. One lady has said, my God, by the time we actually experience springtime, it will be summer. Right? So by the time we actually experience summertime, it would be fall already. And then etc., etc., etc. Okay? Which, we kind of been seeing the difference. And the difference that I see is new and different plant life. New and different insects. Okay? Things that we're not used to. And every insect, emits out into the atmosphere. And this is every insect and every new growth, every growth emits something out here. And this is why a lot of people have been suffering allergies, because they're getting, different growth, whether it be plant or animal, and it's affecting their bodies. Right? Oh my God, what's going on here? Voting again? Yes, it does look like they're voting. Okay. I guess I'll go around this way. And it's full here. Absolutely full. Should we park here? I think we should park down here. Maybe we'll park down here, because this is like the voting area. Because I can't believe that all of these people are going to go work out. That's just not the world we live in. So, okay. So today, yeah, here we are, gonna try to take a walk.